Hi, this is Shay Jackson with Hype Math. In today's lesson, we will be reviewing the STAAR Math test for 5th graders. The release is 2013. We will be going over transformation problems. Let's get started. Our problem says, which coordinate grid shows only a translation? Again, our problem says, which coordinate grid shows only a translation? What are we looking for? We are looking for the grid that shows translation. The steps to solve the problem are the following. Number 1, we need to identify the grid that shows the shapes demonstrating translation. And then number 2, we need to choose the correct answer. To just give a review over translation, translation means shapes that move from one point to another without rotating, resizing, flipping, or anything else. Okay, so that's translation. Again, translation means shapes that move from one point to another without rotating, resizing, flipping, or anything else. So let's look at our answer choices. Let's find out which answer choice shows the shape translating from one point to another without rotating, resizing, flipping, or rotating. If you said answer choice D, you are correct. Answer choice D shows translation as the transformation. Let's look at another problem. This is number 20. Each coordinate grid below shows a single transformation. Which list describes the transformation in grids 1, 2, and 3 in order? Our answer choice F is translation, reflection, rotation. G is rotation, reflection, rotation. H is reflection, translation, rotation. And J is rotation, reflection, reflection. What are we looking for? We are looking for the answer choice that shows the correct transformation for grid 1, 2, and 3 in that order, okay? For grids 1, 2, and 3 in that exact order. Our steps to solve the problem are the following. Number 1, we need to identify the list that shows the single transformations in grids 1, 2, and 3 in order. And number 2, we need to choose the correct answer. Let's start with step number 1, identifying the list that shows the single transformation in grids 1, 2, and 3 in order. Now, looking at the answer choices, and it's in no particular order, let's define what translation is, what reflection is, and also rotation so that we can choose the correct answer. At the top, translation, we just had a problem that talked about translation. And again, the definition for translation is shapes that move from one point to another without rotating, resizing, flipping, or anything else. Okay, that's translation. Reflection. A reflection is the mirror image of the original figure, and the line of reflection is the mirror. Okay, so looking at looking at our example, we see it's basically a mirror image of it. So if you were looking in the mirror for this shape, this is how it would look. And last, rotation. When a figure is turned about a given point, the transformation is called a rotation. The figure is rotated counterclockwise or clockwise about a point. Looking at grid number 1, which transformation is it? Is it translation? Is it reflection? Or is it rotation? Okay, so looking at our picture, does it look like a translation? No, it does not. Next, let's see if it looks like a reflection. If you said no, you are absolutely right. It is not, the transformation for grid 1 is not reflection. So our answer choice that is left is rotation. Okay, yes, grid 1 is rotation. Since we know that grid 1 is rotation, let's find out, are there any wrong answers that can be crossed out? And again, this is very important. As soon as you can determine which answer choices are wrong, go ahead and cross them out, because that increases your chance of getting the correct answer. Okay, so again, whenever you're working out a problem, sometimes you have to do a little work to see if there are any wrong answers, and sometimes you can look at the beginning of the problem and say, well, these two answers are incorrect. Whatever the case may be, always at the beginning, the very beginning, as soon as possible, look to see if there are any answer choices you can cross out, because it increases your chances of getting that problem correct, and sometimes without even working the whole problem, which is great. So let's look at our answer choice. Since we know that grid 1 is a rotation, are there any answer choices we can cross out? If you said answer F and answer H, you are correct. Because for F, they're saying that grid 1 is translation. We already know that's incorrect. And also for H, it starts off and it says reflection. That's wrong as well. So again, the wrong answers that we can cross out are answer choice F and answer choice H. And just like that, we've increased our chances 50% of getting the answer correct. That's good. Now let's look at grid 2. Okay, what transformation do we see for grid 2? Is it translation? Is it reflection? Or is it rotation? Looking at our example picture for translation, does this match grid 2? If you said no, you are correct. Okay, grid 2 does not, the transformation for grid 2 is not translation. What about reflection? If you said yes, you are correct. Okay, so the transformation for grid 2 is reflection. Now, based on those answer choices, let's immediately see if there's anything we can cross out. Looking at the answer choices, we see that we have G and J. They both said that grid 1 was rotation, and that's correct. Now, looking at the second answer choice, reflection, are there any answers we can cross out for G or J? Because G is rotation, reflection, rotation, and J is rotation, reflection, reflection. If you said no, you are correct. Okay, both G and J have grid 2 as a reflection, which is okay, but it's always good to check and see if you can cross anything out. All right? Looking at grid 3, is it reflection? No, we know it's not reflection. What about rotation? Yes, it is rotation. Okay? Looking at our answer choices, we know that grid 3 is rotation. Are there any answer choices we can cross out? If you said that we can cross out J, you are correct, because J has grid 3 as a reflection, and we know that is incorrect. Based on that information, we can see that G is the correct answer. So for the list that describes the transformations in grids 1, 2, and 3 in order, our answer choice is G, because we know that grid 1 is rotation, grid 2 is reflection, and grid 3 is rotation. This has been Shay Jackson with Hype Math. For more 5th grade math test prep videos, go to our website, www.hypemath.com. Also coming soon, we will be having online STAAR Math test prep for all grades, for 3rd to 8th graders, not all grades, for 3rd to 8th graders. And here are the dates. In order to sign up, go to hypemath.com to reserve your spot. Talk to you soon.